Well, good afternoon, and possibly good morning, good evening, depending on where you are in the world and what time you see this. I am Tiffany Bethia, and I am super excited to welcome you to the invitation, your invitation, a successful and surrounded open house moment. I want to say thank you for your patience. How many of you know that technology is great until it's not? Okay. So we had to work through a couple of things, but we are here. I'm here. I'm the founder of Successful and Surrounded. I'm really, really, really excited to share with you what this moment is. Listen, I don't take your time lightly, and I know that you could be doing so many other things. And this is not just a webinar or a pitch. This is really a conversation that I want to invite you into about what it looks like when you are building with purpose and you don't want to build alone. So, I'm going to share the heart and the vision behind Successful and Surrounded, and specifically the 2.0 version. And you'll understand why I'm saying that, who it's for, what it offers, and then listen, if it feels like, man, that's something that I would like to be a part of, then we're going to extend you your own invitation. Now, here's where you get to talk back to me. Hey, Terica, I see our members popping in. What's going on? I would love for you to tell me your name and where you are tuning in from, whether you are watching this live or whether you are watching this via replay. So I'm going to take a moment to introduce myself while you are typing in the chat. I am Tiffany Bethia. I am the founder of Successful and Surrounded. And I'm going to, in a moment, share my slides and really go a little bit more in depth. But here's what I'll say to kick it off. I am here in the Baltimore, Maryland area. Fun fact, one of my other hats, I am also the executive director for the Baltimore City Chamber of Commerce. So I wear multiple hats and I get to champion business ownership and entrepreneurship in many different ways. Okay, Terilyn from New York. Look at me, Norfolk. Terilyn from Norfolk. I actually went to Hampton University, so I was down in the 757 for a little bit. So welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm going to give a few more moments for you guys to introduce yourself, and then we are going to dive in. I see Terica's in New Jersey. I love it. I love it. I love it. Y'all, it's going to be a good conversation today. I am super, super, super excited. I'm actually trying to calm myself down because I just love sharing with women. I just love pouring into women. And let me ask you now, okay? I have slides prepared, I have things prepared, but is it okay if we literally just have a conversation? I don't want this to be overly curated. I just genuinely want to talk to you guys. Hey, Lacey from Georgia, welcome, welcome, welcome. I was in my, quiet time with God, and I've been preparing for this. And I'm like, at the end of the day, I was like looking over my notes and things, and I was like, I'm going to make sure I hit these points, but I just want to have a heart to heart. And so if it's okay that we just have a heart to heart, just put a yes in the chat and let me know. Hey, Shay from the DMV. Okay. All right. Fun fact, this debate has been happening on social media for a little while now about, is Baltimore in the DMV? The answer is technically no. Baltimore is not really in the DMV. I don't know how many of you know this, but the DMV area actually is DC, the parts of Maryland, and the parts of Virginia that are closest to DC. So it's so funny because outside of this immediate area, people think of us that we are DMV, but we actually are not. So I'm always interested because sometimes I'll chime in when they say like DMV is like, yeah, knowing that like they think I'm in the DMV, but I know I'm not. And that was just random, but okay, I see lots of yeses. Lots of folks say yes, honey. Just let's have a conversation. So let's do that. Okay, you with me? It is not. Okay, thank you. Okay, so I always think that's a fun fact when I get to, Baltimore and the DMV. But what I say is we are the DMV's first cousin. See, that's how we. So it's like, well, we're not in the DMV, but we are first cousins or brothers and sisters, something like that. Okay. So, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and share the slides that I have for you guys today. And ooh, you know what? Can I move? I feel like I should be able to move that. Let's see, y'all. Let's go back to this view. All right. So, what is Successful and Surrounded? In short, it is a supportive community for anointed women founders who are navigating growth, expansion, and becoming. How many of you in this season, you just feel like you are stretching outside of yourself? Like you've started a work that God has called you to. It's moving, it's going, but you're growing and you're feeling the pain and the joy and all of the things of navigating growth and expansion. I had a conversation. We were on our prayer call, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that in a moment. But we were on our prayer call the other day, and I said, you know what? Even in the natural birthing process, you have the epidural, you have all of these different pain medicines, which unfortunately I did not have the privilege of because I had a water birth. So I had nothing. But no matter what you take for pain or don't, some things get rid of the pain. Nothing gets rid of the pressure. There's a pressure, there's a weight that comes when you think about birthing, and nothing, they can't give you anything for the pressure. And we were talking about how that relates to our journey as purpose-driven women who are birthing and doing the things that God is calling us to do. There's a weight, there's a pressure that comes to this. And oftentimes, too many women are building alone. But I'm getting ahead of myself, so I don't want to get into that just yet. Let me fully introduce myself correctly. Maybe you're new here. Maybe somebody shared this with you. Hopefully somebody shared this with you. Hopefully somebody sent this to you. And so you're like, well, who are you? Tell me a little bit about you. So I am an award-winning brand coach and consultant. I started my own firm in 2012. However, this year makes 20 years in the branding and marketing space, which is crazy to say, but it's true. I'm certified in digital marketing. I am also a certified business advisor, which gives me the expertise to advise businesses from beginning to end, whether you are in complete startup phase or whether you are in maturation and looking to sell. Anywhere along the line, I am certified to help you in that process. All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I see you guys coming in. Hello, hello. I am also the best-selling author of 8 books. So not only have I helped countless other powerful women become best-selling authors and coaches and winning entrepreneurs, but I myself have put those things into practice. I'm a preacher of the gospel, 20 years in ministry to women, and 14 years full-time. And I'm like, is that number so accurate? Yes, it is. That number is still accurate. All right. Why the Successful and Surrounded Circle? What in the world made me start this? As I said a moment ago, I am also the executive director of the Baltimore City Chamber of Commerce. I'm a speaker, I'm a coach. I wear a lot of hats, including the hat of mom. I have a 16-year-old son named Jordan Joshua. That's my heart, my world. We're actually heading into track season. So I'm a track mom. I'm about to be outside, right? Why in the world did I decide to add this to my plate? What was it that I said yes to when God asked me to do this? Well, have you noticed that too many women are building not only successful businesses, but lives while quietly feeling disconnected, unsupported, or unseen? This is the vision that God gave me. Oh gosh, a little while back now. I built my first community in 2015. It was called Kingdom Boss. So I'm not new to this. Kingdom Boss community had over 20,000 members literally worldwide. And man, as I transitioned into creating this community, God gave me a vision. He was talking to me about my anointing as a spiritual midwife. While I'm a coach and a consultant and the knowledge I have is business, the in the spirit realm, in the anointing that I carry is as a midwife, helping people push and birth. And I remember him giving me this vision very clearly because one of my best friends, I've helped her. I was present when she birthed both of her daughters, and they were two very different birthing experiences. And the second one was a lot more hectic, and I was really there to just, get her through that. And I remember when her daughter was born, who, gosh, is such a big girl now, and they were cleaning her up. She looked at me and she said, I could not have gotten through this without you. And the Holy Spirit brought that back to me to say, this is what you do. But let's take it a step further. I want you to, if you feel comfortable and if you can, if you're driving, I don't want you to do this. Okay. But if you're in a position to, I want you to close your eyes for a second. I'm going to paint a picture for you. Okay. You ready? I want you to close your eyes and I want you to picture a hospital bed and kind of in the middle of nowhere or wherever you picture it. I'm going to give you the setting freedom, but I want you to picture a singular hospital bed. Okay. Do you see that bed? Now I want you to picture a woman who is full term on this bed and it's clear by her body that she is in labor. Do you see her? She's sweating. She's in pain. She's holding on to the side of the bed. She's trying to catch her breath. She's breathing. And then contractions come and she pushes through them. Then she catches her breath. Do you see this woman? As a matter of fact, I want you to be the woman. I want you to put your face on her. Do you see yourself there? Now I want you to picture that there's no one by the bedside while she's trying to give birth. She's reaching because she needs somebody to help her with her balance, and she's trying to get into the pushing posture, but she can't really effectively do it because she's there by herself. And the Holy Spirit said to me, this is the posture that so many women are in when it comes to birthing. Now, I got a quick clip that I want you to watch, and then we're going to keep going. Uh-oh. Let me get this clip queued up, guys. And then, oh, I know what I did. Okay. I got to do this. Here we go. Yep. I know what to do. Yep, here we go. There we go. Okay, y'all, I'm going to
so much here. And y'all, okay, those of you who know, right, y'all know I'm learning to garden, and I also now raise chickens. And today I was going out to collect the eggs, and we've had chickens since December. And as I go out to collect the eggs, I've been noticing over the last several months that they've been laying, that they tend to all lay in the same box. So they have 9 boxes to choose from, okay? Yet, six. They have 6 boxes to choose from. Yet they all seem to lay in the same box. And so I've been researching this because I'm trying to figure out why, girls? Why are we doing this? Okay, y'all got wrong. And I found out what I think is an answer to your question, and I'm going to shape it this way. The chickens all tend to lay in the same nest because there's safety in numbers. If they were in the wild,
I'm about to turn my camera off. I can't. Stay
with me. If they were in the wild, it's easier to defend the nest if they're all together. It's also found out that part of the reason why they do this is because there's almost like a social hierarchy almost, but somebody, if there's one of the sisters, one of the hens that they trust that's decided that this box is the safest and the best one to lay in, they all say, I trust you, and so I'm also going to lay in this box. I found out that it's also because fresh eggs give off a sense even to the chickens that says, this is home, this is safe, this is comfort. So we all now gravitate to this box. Now, they can't all sit in the same box at the same time. So they all take turns in this box. And then on top of that, as I'm picking up the eggs, each hen lays an egg a day. And you can almost tell which hens are laying what eggs. But the hens never care. They don't say, oh, your egg is already there, I'm going to go something else. They say, no, we're all in community together, so we all going to sit on all these eggs, no matter who the eggs belong to. And if they were in the wild, they will lay on the eggs until they hatch. They will sit there and they will protect. It don't matter. I can open the top of the box and then look up at me like I'm busy protecting these eggs. I'm busy right now, so please don't about your business. And I think to answer your question, what shows up for me is when we talk about naked vulnerability, when we talk about the rawness of who we are right now and the season we're in and where we're coming, we have to realize that there's safety in our social. There's safety in us being together and successful and surrounded. That there is a trust, there is a warmth, and it doesn't mean that when they're down at the bottom of the coop that they're not pecking at each other and doing some things, but they get united when danger comes.
Did you guys get that? So I know I think the beginning might have been a little bit low. So let me give the context here. She was talking about the chickens that she actually raises. She raises chickens, and she has several boxes that are allotted for them to lay their eggs. But she noticed that, they all seem to gather to this one box. Why is that? Because once one hen begins to lay her eggs there, they recognize in community, this is where we are birthing. Are you picking this up? They don't all go to their own individual space to give birth individually. They come together, and watch this. Even if my eggs aren't out yet, but your eggs are in the box, when it's my turn, I'm going to sit on the box and watch and protect all of what all of us are birthing. And honestly, if you think about the God that we serve, he has left so many clues for us in nature, in how nature moves. His ways are so much higher, and he's left them as clues for us. And so here's the question for you. Are you birthing alone? Are you birthing alone? Who are you birthing with? So this is why Successful and Surrounded was created. This space was created because God recognized that his daughters were trying to give birth alone. Well, you might say, Tiffany, I have some friends, I have some family, but do you have covenant partner and covenant community that is assigned to what you are birthing, that has the resources and the support and the expertise and the wisdom to help push and further what you are doing? I'm going to go a step further, because my good God from Zion. So as a little bit of history, I started Successful and Surrounded with a group of sisters in 2024. And then we took some time to pause and say, okay, what does the next phase look like? And then when it was time to pick it back up, I kicked off the Successful and Surrounded Circle. And we have recently reopened the doors, and I'm going to talk about that. But just in that short time, something else has happened. Over 400,000 Black women have been displaced from the workplace, downsized, let go, downgraded, And so many Black women, and I want to be really clear about something. This community is not only for Black women. We have women of different ethnicities here, but I cannot ignore the plight of women that look like me. I cannot ignore the fact that hundreds of thousands of Black women were displaced, given a pink slip, let go, and dismissed. And we just got up and kept getting Starbucks like nothing happened. We are in crises. So many of his daughters are praying the same prayer of, God, what's next? What are you going to do? Have you forgotten me? My degrees aren't enough. My expertise isn't enough. What happened? I thought I was more valuable to the company than this. And so not only are we creating community here, y'all, we are creating our own economy. This is not only a space where we're going to pray together and push you and share a resource, but we're going to send a client your way. We need this to show up in your spirit and in your bank account because no one's coming for us. It's us. We are the ones that we are looking for. And that is why this community exists. I want to ask you a real question. I want you to sound off in the comments. I want you to think about what you are building right now. I want you to think about the wins that you've been experiencing. And I want you to think about the challenges you're currently facing, because we all have them. I want you to think about the support you wish you had. What do you wish you knew? Who do you wish maybe was in your circle? We use the term mastermind a lot in this community. And if you know anything about a mastermind in its true form, it is when a group of people come together. All of them have a different set of expertise and resources and network. And it's like a bank. Whatever they bring to that mastermind, everyone benefits from, which means if you are good at HR and I'm good at marketing, then we have marketing and HR covered. If another sister joins and she's great at financial wellness, then we are also now strong in that area. Whatever it is that we're lacking, we get better every single time someone joins the community and the mastermind. And it means that no individual person in the community has to have it all figured out. You know why? Because when you need my expertise, I'll show up. When we need your expertise, you show up, and we all win collectively because of what we know together. What do you need to know? What are you missing? Is it something in technology? Is it something financial? Is it marketing? What are you missing? What do you not know that if you joined a community and a bank where everybody brought something, you'd get access to? And I want you to put in the comments, when you think about what you're building right now, what do you need? What do you need? I'm going to tell you while you're typing where I am strong and where I have had to lean on my sisters. Well, quite obviously, I'm very good at branding and marketing. I can build you a funnel with my eyes closed in 2.2 seconds. If you have something that you need to sell, I can take you from start to finish in 2.2 seconds because it comes from me like this. Now, where I wasn't strong before connecting with community was HR. So hiring or creating an advisory board, that was something I wasn't really that knowledgeable about until I got in community with a sister who said, oh, that's my expertise here. I'm going to share my bank with you, and boom, now I'm good in that area. Okay. Listen, this is a big one. Technology, honey. Yes. A lot of people struggle there. What else? Where are some areas where you're like, man, I could use some support here? I'm going to give you another one that I see. Capital. Many people are like, man, I could use funding. I could use some capital. I could use a grant or a loan or an investor. How would your business be different if you knew how to get a grant or a loan or access to $50,000 right now? What if I told you that somebody in the community right now can help you solve that problem? Okay? So let's keep going. How do you know if this community is for you? And honestly, I feel like with all of these, this is like off the top of the head. You don't have to think that hard. You know if any of these sound like you. And I just want you to do something with me. I want you to put yes. I just want you to put a yes in the chat. If any of these I say hit you in your shana now, I want you to say, yep, that's me. This is for you if you know that, you know what, my next season requires new relationships. I'm already building and I've already been doing amazing. But if I'm going to make it to the next level, I read my Bible and I know that God moves through people and he uses, and every time he goes to expand and grow, he inserts new people. And now I can tell that based on where I'm going in this next season, I need some new relationships. I need to be exposed to some new things. I need to see some new things that are possible so that I can even ask God to go after and believe them in faith. Is that you? This is for you if you value depth over hype. Proximity over performance and alignment over noise. You know, and I told you we were just going to have a conversation. So I hope it's okay if I be super transparent. It's so humbling starting over. I've built community with thousands of people. And right now we are a small, intimate community. But you know what I am loving and God is reminding me of is the power of what happens in those one-on-one exchanges. We're not yet able to brag that we've got thousands of members like we will be able to one day. But you know what I am able to say? That the women in this community are making life-changing relationships. Oh God, that they're connecting with people who are pushing them in every way to be better women, to be better mothers, to be better sisters, to take better care of their health, and how to add an extra zero to their business bank account. This is for you if you are striving for balance and harmony between your personal and professional endeavors. Where are my ladies that wear multiple hats? I know you're in here. We are in here. And you are like, man, I'm doing the things, I'm going after what God has called me to do, but I need a little bit more harmony. I feel a little bit like, whoo. Well, in this community, one of the things that we place a high value on is your wellness. And we also place a high value on becoming before building. We're not just going to talk to you about the book you just wrote or the stage you just got off or the client you just acquired. But we're going to talk to you about how's your soul? How's your prayer time? And in fact, and I'm getting ahead of myself, but inside of the community, we have resources for both. This is a space where we do our becoming work and we do our building work. So what will you gain inside of this, the incredible circle? Well, first of all, you'll get a safe community. Emphasis on safe. This is a place that we have curated to nurture. And I like to say it this way. The women who are attracted to this space typically can't take their capes off anywhere else. I just want you to tell me if I'm describing you. Every setting you go into, they're looking for you to have an answer, lead. They're so happy when you showed up because they know you're bringing something. Where do you get to take your cape off and just be poured into? Where, when you show up, they're not necessarily saying, oh, great, we're going to put this in your lap. Where can you show up for that? This is that space. Okay, listen, I know we in here. Spiritual connection. Let me say this. There are a lot of communities for women. I'm a part of many. I think you should be a part of many. However, there are not as many spirit led and prophetic spaces that can really speak into your spirit and say, this isn't a strategy issue. You need to go back and pray about that. Or thus saith the Lord. But that is this space. Boosted confidence. I can't wait to get into it just a moment. Some of the content that we have inside of the community that really, really, really helps you tap into your strengths, overcome all that nagging doubt that you hear, and step more confidently into your next season. I know everybody thinks you're more confident than you often feel, but this is a place where you're going to really cultivate that next level of boldness. Immense clarity. What I know is that the next space that you are working toward in your business, there's something that you just don't know, whether it's how to get more eyeballs, how to attract more sales, how to really start to grow and hire properly. Whatever it is, there's something that you need to know. And in this space, you're going to gain that clarity. And lastly, increase cash flow. Oh, yeah. Because not only are we looking to impact you spirit, soul, body, but also business wise, we want to impact your sales. Okay, let's keep going. Now, what all is included when you decide to take the leap and become a part of the Successful and Surrounded Circle? So first, we have a weekly CEOs at the Altar prayer and prophetic call. Now, if you've been a part of this call, okay, I just need you to put in, just back me up in the chat, okay? Because we have a time on these Monday calls and God speaks to us so powerfully. Right now, we've been in a study on the book of Nehemiah, and it's been yummy, yummy, yummy good. It's been so good. This is the time that we start our week in prayer. Before we jump into all the tasks and do all the things, we literally seek first the kingdom of God. God, what do you have to say to us today? What is it that you, and we set the direction for our week. Listen, hasn't it been so mighty? Now, we also do a monthly CEO Mastermind breakfast. We are building in a hybrid manner. So we have things virtually, and now we're really expanding our in-person connection. And so we're started here in the DMV and we are beginning to expand it to other cities, even though I love, shout out Terica, who comes all the way from New Jersey. She said, listen, Maryland's not that far, honey. I can get there. Okay. And so every month we have this beautiful breakfast, a time of connection, and it's just such a yummy, sisterly good time. Now, bi-weekly, every other week, we also have our strategy sessions. So directly after our prayer call, after we go seek the Lord and get his wisdom, and we come out, but we don't come out of the presence. Let me clear that up. We don't come out of the presence, but we shift gears. And we double down on a specific business principle or strategy that we are working on that month. This month in particular, March has been our 30-day visibility sprint. And so we're working on how do I get what I do in front of more people with skill, not just posting and hoping and just doing it, but like, what should I specifically be doing? And so I've been walking them through. Number one, what are the steps of the lead's journey? What is a lead? Do you know what a lead is? How many leads are you interacting with on a monthly basis? Do you know what should be happening from your social media content? There's 3 steps you need to be doing every single month. Are you doing those 3 steps? That's what we're talking about in those strategy sessions. And it's a time for real feedback, whether we're looking at websites or we're looking at your offer, what you're selling, and we're doing the deep digging. Okay. There's also a business resource library. Now we're rebuilding this library right now. Okay. We got a lot of resources that we're putting up, whether it's templates, tools, scripts, all kind of things to help you implement what you are learning live during our strategy sessions. Okay. I am also in the process of what's the word I'm looking for? We are in the 2.0 version of this community. And so everything is getting upgraded. And so what you're going to be getting very soon is my iconic brand method framework. This is the step-by-step process of how do I turn my expertise into a digital empire. I want to create courses. I want to create events. I want to write a book. How do I do that? But then I'm also adding my expand framework. This is for the person who's a little bit further along in the journey. We have people at various stages in this community, people who are just starting. We've got 7-figure business owners all the way up the gamut, right? And so if I'm in a space where I'm looking to scale, how do I do that? And then lastly, every fall, we're going to be hosting our live experience. I'm really excited because we are creating this experience right now. It will be open to guests, but of course, as a member, you will have discounted tickets to this experience. Now, I really want to lean in here because I talked a little bit about how there's 2 big things that we're doing in this community. We're doing our becoming work and our building work. Why do I say that? Like, does that like some like cute little 2B words, or like, why do I say that? Having been a coach and a consultant as long as I have, I was literally on a panel for Goldman Sachs a couple weeks ago, and I was asked this question that I'm asked all the time, whether it's on a panel or a podcast or whatever, right? And they always ask me some form of the question, what's the one thing, Tiffany? You know, it's like, this is a veteran. You're a veteran in this game now. What's the one thing? And you know what I always say? It was who I had to become, not what I just had to do. Most business owners are the distance between where they are and where they want to be next is a mindset, is a habit, is a thought process. It's not just some YouTube video or just some quick worksheet or webinar, but there's some internal work. And let me give it to you this way. This is when I really, as I was sitting with God, really started seeing it. When you go to these webinars, you work with the coach, you go to a conference, whatever it is, that information is coming to you as a seed. But you are the soil that information is going into. And so here's how this works. I've given the same exact information, the seed, to 2 different people. And one person put it in the ground, watered it, did what they were supposed to do, and it turned into an empire. And the other person put it in the ground, pulled it back up because they were afraid, put it in the ground, pulled it back up, and never let it come to maturation. Same information, 2 different results. Why? Because this person, their identity, their lack of confidence, their fear kept it from working. And this is what we don't talk enough about in the traditional business space. And so these 3 right here are courses that are live in the portal right now that are working you through what's happening in the soil. The Worthy Work class, this one right here is deep, y'all. Healing, Evolving, Wholeness. This course is really going to have you face, what do you think about you? What has formed who you are? Okay, come on, back me up. And it's going to have you increase your sense of identity, worth, become more whole. You know why? Because for some of you, the reason that you undercharge has nothing to do with nobody else. It's you. It's that you don't think you're worthy of that investment. You know how I know? Because I felt that. I remember the first time I had to send a 5-figure invoice. Oh my God. I was shaking in my boots. Why? I had the knowledge. I had the expertise, but something in me, in me that wasn't healed made me think, surely you are not worth that invoice being paid. Now, who has ever felt that? Surely I'm crazy to think somebody's going to pay that. And so this course really helps you do that work. And then I have another course I created called Deeper, Experiencing God Greater Through Prayer. I'll never forget, and this was actually not that long ago. I was on a coaching call, a private coaching call with a client, beautiful older woman. And we started talking about where she was stuck in her business. And I asked her about her daily prayer time. She skirted around it a little bit. And then, y'all, she finally said to me very transparently, I don't even think I even honestly know how to pray. And it took such courage for her to say that because she had been in church a long time. But nobody had ever really taught her the deep things of how to deepen your prayer life, how to build intimacy with God, and how to hear his voice. And so if you're in a space where you're like, man, I know that my next place can't just be strategy, it's got to be supernatural. I'm looking for results that aren't just 1 + 1 = 2. She did a webinar, she got clients, it made sense. No, something happened there that was supernatural. You got to know how to go into the deep places of God. We talked about this week in Psalm. There's a scripture that says the secret covenant of the Lord is for those who fear him, and he reveals it to them. How do I get into the secrets that God doesn't share with everyone? I talk about that in that course. And then the last one is unapologetic boundaries, protecting your peace without guilt. Are you saying yes to your detriment? Are you worn out and exhausted right now just because you don't have the healthy boundaries that you need? And that course is for you. And then we get into the building work. And these are the new courses and strategy sessions coming. We work on growth strategies, which is literally what we're doing right now in our bi-weekly sessions. Identifying opportunities for expansion. How do I grow beyond where I am? Talk about scaling revenue. For those of you who are a little bit further along the process, what do I do? How do I increase customer retention? How do I increase the lifetime value? How do I increase the customer value? And then team building and leadership. Maybe it's time to hire. Maybe it's time to really build a culture for your team and your employees. All of these are things that we talk about when we do the building work together. Okay? Now, Successful and Surrounded 2.0, our new and improved version, just opened in January. And so I feel like we are still in our founding member era. We're still getting the plane off the ground. And it's really beautiful, the stage that we're in, because you get to benefit from being a part of the foundation. As a founding member, you're in a unique position to really help shape what this is and what God does in this community. So here is what the standard investment is. Notice I said standard because this is not what I'm going to ask you to pay today. But should you want to be a part, this is what it would, either $97 a month or $9.97 annual. Now, how many of you feel like just because I want to be generous that that's probably not the investment for today? Well, you would be correct. So listen, the founder's rate, I noticed that the annual payment was much more popular. And this is something I teach you how to do, looking at the data and making data-driven decisions. Over 90, literally almost 100% of our members, not over 90% of our members choose the annual package. And I said, I feel like that should be rewarded. So when you join today, you will not pay the $9.97 for the annual. You will simply pay $4.97. Y'all, that's a 57% savings. Now, that might not sound like a big deal until you start thinking like a CEO and an investor. Because what happens if you put that money away to invest? What else could you do? How could that compound and grow? Okay, so here's what I want to say, and then I'm gonna allow you to ask me some questions and let me know what questions you have. You need a community of women that are a safe space to birth your next level of success and impact. I think about Mary and I think about Martha. I'm sorry, what am I saying? Jesus help me. I think about Mary and Elizabeth. I think about Luke 1. where Mary is given the ultimate assignment of assignments, where she is told that she has been blessed to give birth to Jesus. And the very next thing that the angel instructs her to do is not go baptize yourself or go fast or go the number of things she could have done. He says, go to Elizabeth, who is also pregnant. And they spent 3 months together. 2 women pregnant with purpose, the safest place for their destiny. What about you? Are you in a community with other pregnant women who are pregnant with purpose, who don't want to see you torn down because they don't want to be torn down? They're just as vulnerable. They're just as excited about what God has in their belly. And they are ready to catch you and support you just like you will do for them. Let me say this too. I hear you, Holy Spirit. I recognize that sometimes, though we need safety in community, that's been the very place that we've been hurt and wounded. And so if sisterhood has been difficult for you in moments, and you're like, I mean, it sounds great. I know I need that, but I'm just not sure. I want you to know that we've got space for you. That if your heart needs a little bit of healing because you tried the community thing before and it didn't work out the way that you hoped, that we got space for you. This is a moment for you to reclaim what God has for you, because community is a promise. Ecclesiastes lets us know 2 is better than 1. And your family members who aren't business owners, they can encourage you, but they can't support you in the same way another woman who was pregnant with the same destiny can. And it could be your parent, your husband, your best friend. If they are not building in the same way you are building, there's something you're lacking that this community just may have for you. And so I'm going to put up the link where you can actually go. And if you say, you know what, Tiffany, I think you're talking to me. I think that you are. I know. What I know has brought me this far, but there's something else that I need to know. And I think this community could be it. I want you to go to successfulandsurrounded.com, www.successfulandsurrounded.com. At the very top, you're going to see the link and it's going to say membership, and it's going to take you to our portal where you can get started today. I want to let you know that as we are in our 30-day visibility sprint, all of our sessions are recorded. And so anything that you've missed, you can go back and watch. As we go into April and May, we are preparing to work on live launching. This is one of the best ways for speakers, coaches, consultants, service providers to get a new client. And so we're going to be working on webinars, masterclasses, multi-day challenges, and all of those things for you to not only just sell one-to-one, but sell to a bunch of people at one time. I've had the privilege of being a part of, strategizing, and working on multi-million-dollar campaigns. And if you go to my website, you'll see countless testimonials of people that I've helped have their first 5-figure launch. That framework is the exact framework I'm going to be teaching in April and May. It's going to be so juicy. so juicy and so good. And there are so many other things coming to this community. And so I think you know by the Spirit if this is for you. Now, I want to offer this resource as well. Maybe you're listening to this and you're like, man, this sounds good, but I do have a quick question that I would like to get answered. And I honor that. I want you to simply send an email to hello@tiffanybethia.com. If you're on our email list and you received the emails to be here, you can actually just reply back to one of those emails and it will go to my admin, and we'll make sure that you get your questions answered, because we value quality over quantity here. It doesn't, we want the right people who know this is a God ordained space for them, and we value you. So send us your questions so that you can get them answered. And if you're like, girl, I'm ready, I need these sessions, I need the sessions that you've been doing already, I need all the things, then go to successfulandsurrounded.com. I'm going to also place these links in the show notes so that you can click on them easily. And listen, whether you are watching this live or via replay, then I cannot wait to see you. Now, last piece I want to say is that founder rate is going away. Yes, honey. Okay. And so today is Thursday, the 19th. You have until March the 31st to take advantage of that rate. And then that rate will be gone. Tap your neighbor. Let them know that we're not going to be in this space forever. And yesterday's price is not going to be today's price. So take action now so that you do not miss out on that founder discounted rate. All right. I want to thank you for spending some time with me. You could have been doing anything else, but I'm so honored that you would take some time to learn about this community and all that we have to offer. I would encourage you to follow, stay connected and follow so that you can see the prayer calls and all the things that we're doing to pour into you and to really elevate what God is doing in you. This is not just about sales and all of that for us. This is really a kingdom work. This is literally about God's will being done in us as it is in heaven. And so we want to see you win, whether you become a member or not. We want to see you win. Of course, if you become a member, then you'll have some additional support and resources. And so we hope that you will join and become a part of this incredible community. All right. Have a magnificent, prosperous, and productive day. And I will see you all again later. Bye, ladies.